In today's video, we're playing Oops All Spells, the best budget deck in Legacy, featuring Balustrade Spy, Thassa's Oracle, and Undercity Informer. Let's go check out that deck list. Why is this the best budget deck in Legacy? Well, for starters, there's no reserve list cards, not a single one. No dual lands, no Lions of Diamonds, no City of Traders, none of it. No reserve list cards in the deck, which makes it relatively cheap. And in fact, the list that we're playing today is $570, which is pretty cheap for a Legacy deck. Admittedly, when you compare it to the rest of the format, it's a great value. But what makes it the best? Well, Magic Online user Jamie WVF just top-8'd a Legacy challenge on 74 of these 75 cards. Their 75th card was a sideboard slot meme. We're not going to play the meme card today. We're just going to play the most competitive list possible, and instead we're slotting in a 4th copy of Xantid Swarm. If you're unfamiliar with Oops All Spells, the deck doesn't play any lands. Instead, it does play these flip cards like Turn Timber Symbiosis and Agadeem's Awakening, wherever that is. Here we go. And you play Undercity Informer and Balustrade Spy. These two creatures allow you to deck yourself, and then from there, you mill Narcomoebas that go from your library into the graveyard. They'll trigger, they go onto the battlefield, you flashback a Dread Return, and then you target Thassa's Oracle and win the game. It's as simple as that, and this deck is super powerful. We're going to have a bunch of turn 1 wins today, and I'm about to show you, so let's head over to match number 1. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, early access to videos, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, such as theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1. We're on the draw, and unfortunately, we've opened up a hand without Undercity Informer or Balustrade Spy. General rule when playing this deck is usually want one of those cards in your hand. Alright, a 6-card hand without either of those as well. I'm going to go to 5. Ay, we're going to 4. This hand is missing an initial mana source, but I'm going to try it. Actually, is that even right? Okay, I think you're actually supposed to get rid of these 3. Keep the reanimate in case your opponent has removal or counterspell. This way you can be more resilient. And we're facing Delver out of the gates. It's disappointing. On our mulligan to 4. Alright, we'll pass. End of turn Brainstorm. They play a Dragon's Rage Channeler and a Misty Rainforest. We've drawn an Agadeem's Awakening for turn. So right now we have enough to win through pretty much nothing. It's not an ideal spot. So we could beat a Pact or I'm sorry, we could beat a Force or a Daze, but that's about it. I think we're supposed to try to win. Dark Ritual. They're fetching with Misty. Minor misstep. Am I supposed to just disrespect this? I'd lose to a Daze or a Force here. I'm so far away from being able to come back. I'm just going to jam. We lose to Daze or Force of Will here. Minor misstep is not very common. Dark Ritual. Undercity Informer. That is resolved. Odd. Target ourselves. Sacrificing the Informer. And we have 4 Narcomoeba triggers. We're going to say yes to all of them. And now we Cabal Therapy targeting our opponent. And they concede we won the mulligan to 4. Wow. Cannot believe that. How lucky. Pretty good there. Best deck in the format, our mulligan to 4 somehow made it work. Alright, so I don't have a link for you, unfortunately, but there is an Oops All Spells Discord that is a free sideboard guide. I just messaged one of the moderators and they sent it to me. So hopefully one of those people can send you a link in the comment section down below, but I don't have the link, so I can't share it. But they say to board out 2 Cabal Ritual, 2 Chrome Mox, and then we want to bring in Xantid Swarms and a Foundation Breaker. So they didn't have a 5th card going out. I do think you could probably shave at least 1 Cabal Therapy. They don't say to bring in Veil of Summer. You could also take out the Memory's Journey package. It's there to beat Surgical Extraction, so you probably shouldn't. Although, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't always follow Cyborg guides, I don't always agree with them, but I do think if you wanted to bring in the Veil of Summer, you could easily board out Memory's Journey and Reanimate. But we're going to just do what the Cyborg guide says with a slight adjustment of the second Cabal Therapy going out. Ay. This doesn't have a black source. I think we have to mulligan. I mean, this was very close to being good. I mean, this hand has a lot of interaction. No creature, no green source. I'm going to keep it. Probably shouldn't, because you're not supposed to keep hands that don't have the creature. But, I mean, this hand seems good to me. Maybe I'm wrong. They kept 6 cards. We draw Bridge from below. Literally our worst draw. Okay, so we'll play the Agadeem's Awakening. Play out the Lotus Petal. Let's try a Xantid Swarm. It resolves. Okay. They grab a Volcanic Island. And step Lightning Bolt. Yeah, you got it. Mystic Sanctuary, and now they're passing. And another bad draw. This is the downside of playing Oops All Spells sometimes. You have a lot of dead draws in your deck. Ponder. They did not shuffle on the Ponder, and now they're passing the turn. Foundation Breaker. Ay. Not according to plan, that's for sure. Dragon's Rage Channeler. We have found an Undercity Informer, but we're a mana short. We just have to pass. And step, they play a Brainstorm. They play Volcanic Island, and now they're going to combat. They have 6 cards in hand. I do not feel very favored at the moment. One thing to note, our opponent's about to cast a Murktide Regent. They've kept 1 mana up this entire time. They likely have, I'm guessing, a Pyroblast or another minor misstep. Let's attempt the Thoughtseize. Oh, they just have everything. Holy moly, Stifle. In this year? Jeez, that card's unplayable. But we're not going to be able to beat this. We can just go to the next one. Alright, next game. I kind of just don't want the Foundation Breaker in my deck. I'm going to bring the Therapy back in. Let's try this. I'm willing to be cold to like a Grafdigger's Cage or something. Like, I don't think we want the Foundation Breaker. So close. Mulligan. And doesn't do it either. We're going to 5. Okay. This hand doesn't do anything either. We're going to 4. Am I being too aggressive? Like, these hands are just bad. I guess we'll keep the hand that does nothing. Put Narcomoeba, Spirit Guide, Lotus Petal on the bottom. Agadeem's Awakening. Thoughtseize. A lot of interaction. Take the Force of Will. The plan here is that our opponent just doesn't draw Volcanic Island, and we get to buy a lot of time. Alright, here's to our opponent never drawing a blue source. Well, Spy was a good draw. So we want to draw Black Source plus Dark Ritual before our opponent draws a single blue land. And it looks like they've missed. That is not a Black Source. They've drawn their blue land. I don't love that. I guess it's a turn 3 Dragon's Rage Channeler. We'll take a draw. Alright, so we're a Black Source away from being able to win through days, through minor misstep. They have found another land. They ponder. They kept a card on top. Now they're attacking. We'll go to 14. Please? That is technically a Black Source, but we can't beat days plus minor missteps, so we have to pass. It gets us Wild Cantor. So I would go up to 4 mana, but we need 5. Another Wasteland, that's brutal. Yep. We fall to 13. Another Spirit Guide will pass. They cast Brainstorm on their end step. On my end step. And they do not fetch. That is terrifying. They play an island. Another Channeler. They have 5 cards in hand. We know 2 of them. Another Brainstorm. They surveil away a Murktide Regent. They attack for 3. We go to 10 life. Time is running out. We draw Undercity Informer. That actually does allow us to beat days. Let's cast a Summoner's Pact. It resolves. We'll grab Wild Cantor. Oh no, I think I miscounted. We can't beat Day's mental misstep or minor misstep here. Yeah, I messed this up. I was supposed to wait another turn. Exile Spirit Guide and we'll pay for Days. I messed this up. I'm just gonna concede. I was supposed to pack the... It doesn't matter. I lose. I can't beat the 2 known cards in their hand. Those were a couple frustrating mulligans to 4. Sometimes that happens when you play decks like this, though. You need to mulligan aggressively. We never had one of our 8 creatures in any of those hands, and we couldn't cast a bunch of spells in the other ones, so I don't think I personally mulligan too aggressively. You might disagree with me. That's fine. We don't need to agree, but regardless, we're going to move on to match number 2. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Match number 2 on the play. I faced this person recently and they were on Ant. I don't know if that's what they're playing today, but we have opened up a turn 1 win. We're going to go for it. Okay, they have kept 6. Chromox. We'll imprint the Spy, Dark Ritual, Undercity Informer. Now we'll cast Summoner's Pact, grab an Elvish Spirit Guide and activate. And our opponent has conceded. Love it. Okay, so we're facing Ant. Or at least I assume they're on Ant. We want the Leyline of Sanctities. I actually like Pact Negation for surgical and things like that. Alright, well I guess I'm wrong. The Cyborg Guide says to board out Pact Negations for Leylines. It doesn't say anything about Veil of Summer. I kinda like Veil of Summer though. I'm going to board it in. They don't need to agree with me. I'm going to take out 1 Cabal Therapy. And a Chrome Mox. Let's try this. This hand does not do the thing. We'll mulligan. I mean, this hand could do the thing if we draw a Black Source. I'm going to go to 5. Nope, to 4. Should I kept that 6-card hand? To 3? No ley lines. Wow. Alright, we'll keep this. I don't think I'm going to win this. Volcanic Island. Main phase Brainstorm. Okay. They're passing the turn. Simian Spirit Guide, we have to pass. Scalding Tarn. Well, they're certainly not on Ant. And I have boarded incorrectly. Okay. Well, that's very awkward. They bobble. Okay. We drew a black card. That means that we're at least allowed to try to play out this Undercity Informer. Imprint the Cabal Ritual. Cast Dark Ritual. They force a will... Pitching a Ponder. They attack for 3. We go to 17. Veil of Summer. Not much help here. Another Dragon's Rage Channeler. They have 4 cards. Reanimate's interesting. Because it means if I can somehow get this Undercity Informer to the graveyard, maybe we stand a chance. They attack for 6. I'm going to go to 8. So I'm just dead on board. And our opponent has 4 cards in hand. I guess we can therapy them for information. We'll name Surgical Extraction. Stifle Days. What is with all the stifles? Like, you're probably not going to believe me. Stifle is not a good card. But it's also not a card that is often featured in winning deck lists. If you're looking at decks from Goldfish or anything that have done well in challenges, those decks don't have Stifle in them. Yet, here in tonight's league, we're actually seeing it twice, which is pretty peculiar. We'll get rid of the Leyline of Sanctities. We want Xanid Swarms. We want our Pact of Negations as well. Alright, I'm sure I'm going to get hate from all of the Oops people, but I don't want the Memories Journey package in my deck. Like, I'm just not a fan of it, and I think I'd rather just have a Chrome Mox. We're going to submit this. On the play. Interesting. I mean, we've opened up this hand twice now where I have a 7 that can do the thing but no protection, and our deck actually has a ton of protection in it. I'm going to mulligan. A 5. This is probably one of the better hands we've seen. Get rid of the Narcomoeba. Get rid of the Undercity Informer. Our opponent's mulliganing to 4. Alright, we're going to play turn 1 Turn Timber Symbiosis and Xantid Swarm. It's resolved! I love that. Okay. No Lightning Bolt, please. Scalding Tarn. Volcanic. For blue, Brainstorm. So if we can draw a black card to imprint, I can play out an Undercity Informer this turn. Draw. Summoner's Pact is a little bit dicey. I think we're going to attack and just pass. They have Tropical Island and a Ponder. Alright, Black Mana Source, let's go. Does that do it? I don't think it does. Swing. They're going to stifle the trigger. That's fine by me. I need a way to turn anyway. So you might be saying, Bryant, you could have gone off. So Summoner's Pact gets us the Wild Cantor. And Wild Cantor is minus mana. Like, it's not +1. It's a break even. So if we got Wild Cantor, we'd have 3 mana. We need 4 to win with the Undercity Informer. One has 2 cards in hand. That will win. Swing, swing. Trigger. The trigger has resolved. Our opponent just covered in bees. A whole swarm. We'll play out the Chrome Mox, and I'm very glad it's not a Memory's Journey. Imprint this Undercity Informer. Pitch Spirit Guide. Exile another Spirit Guide. This is how we do. Getting revenge on Delver. We're officially 1-1. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and Mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Finally, we've opened up a good hand. It's only match number 3. Our opponent has revealed a Gigantha. I'm not really sure what that means, but we've opened up an amazing 7, so we're going to just play and figure it out. Could be like lands, I suppose. Bad lands. What is going on here? Aether Vial? Are you goblins? Not really sure what's happening. Dark Ritual. Undercity Informer. Target me. Sacrifice the Undercity Informer. And our opponent concedes. Nice. Assuming I'm facing goblins here. So let's bring in the packs. I'm sorry, the ley lines. Probably want Force of Vigor. Bring out the Pact Negations. Then probably Chromoxing a Ball. Like, the Cyborg Guide says that those go out all the time. We will try this. Game number 2, we're on the draw, and we will keep. Leyline enters the battlefield. What is going on here? Game number 1, they had Badlands Aether Vial. I don't know what to believe. Play out the Agadeem's Awakening. We'll play a Lotus Petal. And they didn't reveal Gigantha this time, so do you have like a Mindbreak Trap? What is going on? After a lot of consideration from our opponent, Lotus Petal has resolved. Let's try Cabal Therapy. I'm going to name Surgical Extraction. And I hit. Nice. They have a Nile Spellbomb that they chose to not play. Oh, it's because I have the Leyline, obviously. We'll pass the turn. Still not really sure what our opponent's up to. Wasteland is obviously not ideal. We'll play a Turn Timber. Ouch. Wild Cantor. They play an Underground Sea and a Changeling. Is this the Dwarf deck? So their concerted defenses now are Spell Pierces because of the Changelings. Force of Vigor. Ouch. I'll sacrifice the Wild Cantor. This is non-creature. So I'll play the Undercity Informer. Pass the turn. Maybe I was supposed to keep the Wild Cantor for the Cabal Therapy. Maybe that would have been better. But I guess I always have the ability to activate into milling the Narcomoebas, so maybe that doesn't really matter. They have 4 cards. Let's attempt a Summoner's Pact. Grab a Spirit Guide. Dark Ritual. Okay. I am not interested in paying. We'll now target ourselves. Sacrificing the Undercity Informer. Auto yield to the Narcomoeba triggers. I will now flashback Cabal Therapy. Target them. We get a Bridge from Below trigger. And our opponent concedes. We are now 2-1 with Oops All Spells. Mesh number 4 coming up in just a moment. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. I like good hands. I really do. Why can I draw like this the first 2 rounds? Keep. No idea what our opponent is playing. You have a Maya into I love lands. Yeah, let's go. Nice Dark Depths. You're dead. Thank you for registering an unplayable enchantment. And another pact. My regards to your family. That you've been murdered here in round number 4. Play Chromox exiling Undercity Informer. We've already exiled the Simian Spirit Guide. And now we're going to Spy with double pact back up for their crop rotation. Target me. Triggers? No, you don't get to have that. Yes, I'd like to pay 0 mana. Turn 1 with Counterspell backup. Not only 1 Counterspell, I have double Counterspell backup. Pretty good. Okay, checking out the Cyborg Guide, it says to leave in Pact Negation and Thoughtseize. So it says to bring in 4 copies of Force of Vigor, and then we're going to board out, once again, it's always these ones, Chromox and Cabal Ritual. Hit submit. Okay, so this is a hand that can turn 1 win, but we lose to any sort of interaction. I'll keep it and hope that we draw into Pact Negation, I suppose. You have a Maya and they're passing. I wonder what they might have. I think we're going to play it slow. I'm just going to go land pass. Wasteland. Okay. An Undercity Informer. Ouch. Exile a Spirit Guide. Lotus Petal. And I'm just going to play the Undercity Informer here. Storm 2. Pass the turn. They play Dark Depths. Play from the Lomon Wasteland. Come on, deck. Give me a Pact Negation here. Let's see it. Draw. Ugh. So now I would actually need to... Alright, we're just going to risk it. Summoner's Pact. They're not F6, so we lose to Endurance here. Sacrifice the Informer. Narcomoeba triggers. Do you have Endurance? Surgical on Narcomoeba. Okay. I mean, that'll do here as well. Next game. Try it again. Game 3. This doesn't do it, so we will mulligan. I mean, this isn't bad. It's 1 mana short. It's 1 black source short. Am I crazy if I keep this? I think I'm actually going to just pass here. I'm not going to play out the turn Timber Symbiosis into Wasteland. I'm going to just pass. Lotus Petal wins us the game. They play an Urza's Saga. Mox Diamond. I could have kept the Force of Vigor, but I chose to put it on the bottom and say, hey, I'm not going to lose to a Sphere and have Pact for Surgical Crop Rotation. That's the plan. I have 2 lands. Do you have Sphere? Beetle. So this can name my Undercity Informer, unfortunately. And they do. Okay. So we're pretty far away from winning now. That would have won the game! The Force of Vigor bottom biting me in the butt. Urza Saga goes up to 2 counters. They play another Urza Saga. Come on, Undercity Informer, or I'm sorry, Balustrade Spy. They have 1 card in hand. Draw. I mean, do I just let this get destroyed? Pass the turn. They create a construct. This game might be a loss because of me. Like, I could have kept the Force of Vigor, but I was like, I want to be able to beat Crop Rotation plus Surgical after losing game 2 to Surgical. Because the way that I looked at my hand, I was like, I can't beat a Sphere Resistance anyway. So why not just ignore it and pretend that they don't have it? And now I have to draw a Force of Vigor. Spy will not do it alone. Yeah, we're in a bad spot. Okay. Unfortunate. I believe I've lost. My decision has cost me game number 3. Grafdigger's Cage. So they have me locked out of Force of Negation here as well. Or, I'm sorry, Force of Vigor. I'm tired. Forgive me. We are now 2-2. This was a rough one. Let's see if we can win match number 5 and finish with a positive record. The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting your own Magic events with features such as easy-to-create event registration for 4-player and one-on-one Swiss-based games. Event management has never been so simple, and it's done on the web, no downloads are required. You can sign up for $5 by visiting eminence.events/subscribe. Round 5, we're on the draw, and I will keep. We are 1 mana short of a win. But we also have Cabal Therapy as protection. I think that, it's reasonable. They lead off on Polluted Delta. Ooh. Not the matchup I wanted. That's for sure. We didn't really get any freebies this league. We faced 5 very competitive decks. Well, decks with a lot of interaction. I mean, even the one deck that was non-tier that we faced had Wasteland, Surgical, double 1 mana interaction. Like, I understand that the Dwarf or Changeling theme, whatever it was, isn't the most competitive thing. But they did have a lot of ways to disrupt me. Our opponent, after a lot of deliberation, has decided to take our copy of Chrome Mox. Okay. We've drawn a land. We'll play it. Ouch. Lotus Petal. And let's Cabal Therapy them. We will name Force of Will. Ding! Heyo! You didn't think I was going to name that? Come on. We will pass. Our opponent, I think, made a pretty big mistake. They could have just taken my Balustrade Spy with the Thoughtseize and then reanimated it and decked me. Well, they found a Wasteland. That was very good for them. Bummer. And we draw another land. Okay. Dark Ritual, I believe, is our best draw at the moment. They pass. We'll take another land. We know 3 of their 5 cards in hand, that is. They cycle a Troll, picking up Underground Sea, and they're choosing to not reanimate it, which is interesting. We draw another Narcomoeba. I'm going to pass here. They now reanimate the Troll, so they have some sort of 1 mana interaction, or else they would have done this last turn. We've drawn Dark Ritual, that's good. We'll cast it. Play Spy. With this trigger on the stack, I'm going to Summoner's Pact. Grab an Elvish Spirit Guide. We only have 2 Narcomoebas, which is a little bit weird. They're going to dismember our Spy. That should be okay because we have the bridge. Okay. And then we can Cabal Therapy them, sacrificing a Narcomoeba. Create another zombie. Cabal Therapy happens. We'll name Daze. They had a Bowmasters, and now we can Dread Return the Thassa's Oracle. And that's going to be the game. Sweet. Post board. We likely want the Veil of Summers. Probably want the Ley Lines as well. There's so many cards I want in this matchup. I also kind of want the Xanid Swarms. Alright, so the sideboard just says take out the standard 4 cards for 4 Leyline of Sanctity. I mean, I'm not going to do that. I'm taking out the Memory's Journey and the Reanimate. I'm at least bringing in Veil of Summer if I don't bring in the Xanid Swarms. Maybe shave 1 Therapy. I mean, they're going to kill me in the comments. I already know because I'm like butchering. Like, they're giving me a sideboard guide. I'm just doing what I want anyway. I'm going to board out 1 Summoner's Pact. We'll bring in 2 Xanid Swarm. I mean, this hand's pretty close, but I don't think it's good enough. This doesn't do anything. We'll go to 5. I guess we keep this and be miserable. So I need to draw into a creature and a black source. It's just very unrealistic. They did not keep a turn 1 play. Play the Turn Timber and we'll pass. Polluted Delta, Watery Grave, Gothy Voidwalker. We literally can't beat that, so we will go to the next one. Well, that was not ideal. Bringing the Summoner's Pact back in, because I feel like that was probably a wrong move on my part. We'll just have a Miser's Xanid Swarm and that's it. Maybe I should just have both Cabal Therapies in instead. Alright, alright. We'll stay closer to the sideboard guide. I mean, they do know what they're doing, even if I disagree with, part of their deck. Game number 3. This will determine if we finish with a positive record or not. And this hand is amazing. Keep. Leyline enters. Wait, I didn't realize this is actually just a turn 1 with backup. Okay. Lotus Petal. Undercity Informer. The Undercity Informer resolves. We'll exile Elvish Spirit Guide. Target ourselves with the Informer. Narcomoeba triggers. What do you have? We can beat one piece of interaction. Surgical. I will pact that. Okay, so that's resolved. Narcomoeba's happening now. Cabal Therapy them. Triggers the bridge. We'll name Force of Will. Nothing. Okay, so we have a win. We'll cast Dread Return targeting Thassa's Oracle. Boom. Sweet, we finished with a positive record. We faced 4 blue decks and then lands where, let's be honest, I probably cost us, and I mean probably definitely cost us that match. We probably should have been 4-1. We did lose match number 1 pretty handily, but my inability to play Magic or assess matchups kind of cost us in the match against lands. So this is what we played today. This list was pretty good. I mean, it top-8'd a Legacy Challenge. I mean, I think it was fine. That said, if I were to play this deck again, this is what I would play. I would not play the Memories Journey Reanimate package. Instead, I would play 3 Cabal Ritual, 3 Chrome Mox. I'm sure the Oops All Spells Discord will not be happy, but I just want a more streamlined deck that's just good at doing the thing. I think that Memories Journey and Reanimate are... it's a package that gives you a really small percent against interaction. But I think instead of having that small percentage, I just want to be better at executing my primary game plan, because I think I'll win more matches doing that than having that small package within my deck. That's my personal opinion. I could be wrong. I'm not an Oops All Spells expert, so take my opinion with a grain of salt. But thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. Have a great day and keep storming. If you enjoyed today's video, you might also like the Eternal Glory podcast featuring myself, Bryant Cook, alongside Bosch and Roll, Brian Cobal, Anthraven U, Phil Gallagher, as we discuss legacy concepts, theories, strategies, and so much more. We're available on all major podcast platforms, as well as YouTube. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.